Rally, only on Supersport. Proudly sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricant.
Fransman Stefan Peterhansel het vandag in Marokko die 5de skof van die Dakar tydren gewen. Carlos Sainz van Spanje is steeds die algehele voorloper. Suid-Afrika se Geneel de Villiers vaar al hoe beter en is nou algeheel 5de nadat hy vandag 5de geëindig het. In die afdeling vir motorfietsse het
takes the road less traveled. A true adventurer makes a road where none exists. The Dakar Rally, only on Supersport. Proudly sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants.
Stony tracks, lots of dust and speed on the menu of the competitors of the Dakar on their way to Tantan for stage 5. The battle for victory goes on in the bike race, and the two main favourites look to be title holder Cyril Dupre and Spaniard Marc Coma. A bad day for BMW and Nasser Al Attiyah. The X3 driver suffered serious mechanical worries. Yesterday, the competitors of the 28th Dakar discovered the first sand stretches and dunes alongside the locals. Tricky for the newcomers, with already quite a few falls in the dunes of Merzouga. Camels crossing the deserts, quads, bikes and cars stuck in the sand. And quite a few withdrawals as expected on the day. A long and demanding race it was. Frenchman Eric Vigoureux was forced to stop after damaging his Chevy Pro Truck. And a nightmare it was for Vigoureux. There was another competitor in the Wadi, and I wanted to overtake him on his left. Unfortunately, there was a huge hole. The Pro Truck went over it, but we damaged the transmission box.
Assez dimensionné pour pouvoir passer ce genre de difficulté. C'est le boîtier de direction qui fait fusible qui a explosé. Donc voilà, il nous manque juste un boîtier de direction.
Day over for Eric Vigoureux on his US vehicle, but also for 28 other vehicles, some of those eventually making it to the bivouac late at night. Latvia's Yanis Assis, but also Great Britain's Nick Plum. Race over for him. But the biggest name of them all was that of Hiroshi Masuoka, forced to bid farewell to the Dakar after crashing and damaging his Mitsubishi. This morning in Ouarzazate, the Pajero Evo 4 was towed away by a local truck. Hiroshi Masuoka withdrawing from the race after only the second African stage. Two-time winner of the Dakar back in 2002 and 2003. And a sad day for the Japanese and for Mitsubishi. Fast, stony stretches and navigational tramps are what the competitors were to expect for today's stage, going from Ouarzazate to Tantan, a 187-kilometer liaison before a 350k special, and then all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. Beware of the punctures on this 5th stage of the Dakar. Ouarzazate this morning. Still the same freezing cold temperatures and an early start for all the bikers. This was to be the last Moroccan stage of the event, and already the competitors will have covered a third of the Dakar course. Mark Coma explains that we have a 350-kilometer special, typically Moroccan, going to be very long, all the way till Tantan, and then tomorrow we'll be in Mauritania, where the moment of truth will finally come. Well, taking off in fourth position today, Cyril Dupre looked to be the favourite for the day stage. Very satisfied by his new KTM 660. The title holder started behind his main rivals, but it wasn't an easy start, however, for the Frenchman, who got lost after only 25 kilometres. Cyril Dupre, who eventually found the good way and was to catch up with all his main rivals. So navigational difficulties at the beginning of the stage for the title holder, but then he stormed to victory. Dupre first caught up with Chilean Carlo de Gavado, the KTM Repsol rider. And then it was Mark Coma, other race favourite of this Dakar. And both men were to carry on together all day. Mark Coma, the overall leader before this day's stage. And very physical stuff indeed. In the few sand stretches of the day, a lot of dust. That's what all the riders explained at the end of the special. And obviously a lot of speed, although the speed limitation this year is of 160 kilometers an hour. Cyril Dupre about to catch up with Mark Coma. That was just before CP2 at around kilometer 200. Both riders are certainly going to be together until the finish line in Dakar. These are the favourites for the day's stage. These are the favourites for the overall classification at the end of the Dakar on the shores of the Lac Rose. Isidre Esteve took off in first position today after clinching yesterday's special. Not an easy task, with his main rivals just behind him, and certainly seeing the dust behind his bike. Well, Dupre caught up with his KTM Gaulois teammate Isidre Esteve, who struggled with rear brake problems. No rear brake from kilometer 50 to CP2. And finally, a moment to repair. Explains that he lost a plate of the rear brake at kilometer 50, and he had to ride all the time without braking. But he also explains it's okay now. All has been changed. David Frétinier, the Yamaha driver, and Cyril Dupre explaining that today was a dirt bath. Some take mud baths. For him it was a dirt bath. He rode a lot of kilometers in the dust, was very careful, but the stage was nice, technical, and extremely pleasant. A bad day it was for this man, José Manuel Pellicer, who suffered a serious crash. He eventually got back on his 2 feet, but was forced to withdraw in the top 10 of both European stages. Adios, Pellicer. And so victory eventually went to the Frenchman, the title holder, Cyril Dupre, who crossed the finish line after 3 hours and 47 minutes. 3 minutes and 41 seconds ahead of Mark Coma, the overall leader before this special, and still the overall leader tonight. but only with a 1 minute 25 second advantage on Desprez. Third on the day, as expected, another of the race favourites, Isidre Esteve. Difficult task starting first. He crossed the finish line 5 minutes and 18 seconds adrift. Fourth, and what a performance it was. Ruben Faria of Portugal, second for the first stage, first of the second stage. Well, he's proving that he can also ride in Africa. A newcomer on the Dakar, who only lost 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Thumbs up to the Portuguese. Fifth position for Carlo de Guevara, the Chilean, 8 minutes 21 adrift. And another of the KTM Repsol boys eventually finished in 6th spot, Andy Caldecott, the Aussie, but he was given a time penalty for missing out on a waypoint. Caldecott, the winner of the first African Special. David Casteux, support rider for Isidre Esteve, still impressive on this Dakar. He finished 8th, losing over 11 minutes, just ahead of Paul Andis Ulevalzeta, also 11 minutes adrift. The first of the Yamaha boys, David Bretignier, on his lighter 450cc machine. Well, he had to settle with 10th position, losing an extra 13 minutes on the day, having problems competing with the big KTM boys. So victory number 2 for Cyril Desprez in this Dakar, his 12th special victory overall. Mark Coman second position, close to 4 minutes adrift. In the overall, Coman has a 1 minute 25 advantage on Desprez. Isidre Esteve is third, over 6 minutes adrift.
Ouais, je gagne, j'ai repris quelques minutes.
Well, I win today and I reduced my delay in the overall by some minutes. But for now, the overall is not important. I even don't know exactly my ranking. The important thing is to find a good pace and to stay in touch with the leaders, because today we got a sort of natural selection.
La sélection naturelle s'est faite aussi avec quelques pilotes et c'est une réelle sélection naturelle.
Today's stage explains Mark Comer was not easy because there was a lot of dust, visibility was very poor, and you had to pay attention to any little detail, especially because the terrain was very stony. It was very difficult today. The track became much faster, and even if it was quite stony, you could take a rather fast pace. I was caught up by Cyril, and I caught up Isidre in the lead and tried to overtake them, but it wasn't possible. Anyway, everything went well today. It's been a good stage with much riding and almost no navigation. 50 kilometers into the stage, I lost a piece of my rear brake, and I did 150 kilometers without a rear brake. So I had to be very careful. It was rather dangerous out there. At the assistance, at the refueling, I repaired the brake.
I'd missed one waypoint, and I probably only missed it by 100 metres or 50 metres, but it was just so dusty. I was that busy just watching the track and watching, you know, trying to see where the bike was in front of me and stuff. And I just taking no notice of the GPS, and I was already, you know, 10 kilometres past by the time I realised that I'd missed the thing.
A Dakar legend is no longer in the race. Hubert Auriol was forced to quit the event during yesterday's stage 4, going to Ouarzazate. His brand new Isuzu pickup suffered a water cooling failure. A shame for Hubert Auriol, who is back to competition after a 12-year break. A new challenge for the 53-year-old driver, who leaves the event only after 2 African stages. Part of the Dakar history ever since the first edition in '79. Auriol won the bike race in '81 and '83, showing talent and courage in those good old days when the event was a hell of an adventure. But after a bad accident in '87, he switched to 4 wheels in '88 and entered the history books when he won the '92 event from Paris to Cape Town, becoming the first competitor to win in both the bike and the car race. And in 95, he switched to another job, race director. Oriol, the boss of the Dakar, until 2003. And briefing time for Monsieur Oriol. A short break, and then he was back for his 17th Dakar.
And it goes like this, goes like this,
Ali moves to the gateway of Africa, the Western Kingdom of Morocco. The rugged beauty of the Sahara masks the danger of the route. Competitors must be vigilant or fall to the track's many traps. Mitsubishi Motors, 10 Dakar wins, 5 in a row. The 2006 Dakar Rally. See it unfold on your channel of champions. In Las Vegas.
And a tough day to come for the car drivers. 350 kilometers of special, very fast tracks and dust. All were eager to take off this morning in Ouarzazate. One of the favorites of the day was BMW driver Nasser Al-Attiyah. The man from Qatar, unlucky yesterday after clocking the fastest times at both CPs. He then punctured. Well, today it went even worse. Al-Attiyah seriously damaging his car. Not a crash, however, but a broken engine due to the sand entering the vehicle through the air pipe. Well, the last 100 kilometers, explains Al-Attiyah, we had an engine problem. We're now waiting for the assistant instructor to come and tell us, hoping to be able to run the Mauritanian stage tomorrow.
يسحبنا لنهاية الفينش ونحاول نصلح السيارة اليوم عشان بكرة مرحلة موريتانيا.
And the BMW was indeed towed all the way to the finish line in Tantan. A big time penalty to be expected for the Qatar driver, added to over 4 hours lost today on the day's leader. Very bad day for BMW. And Nasser Al-Attiyah, Qatar driver who finished 10th of his first Dakar 2 years ago on a Mitsubishi. Well, it was a day for the Mitsubishis, actually. A day for Stéphane Pétirancel, his 49th special success today, getting closer to the big 50 of Ari Vatanen, the record holder of special victories. Peter Hansel, who eventually crossed the line, a victor with a 1 minute and 12-second advantage on Mark Miller, the US driver on his Volkswagen Race Touareg. A fine performance for the Baja driver and former biker.
No, this is shit, sorry. Go here, left here. Can see the trail over there? Yeah. Left. Nice, that's the trail, perfect. Well done. Go more to the bike, more to the bike. Not too close, remember the rock.
The very important details of his co-driver. And Miller adapting perfectly to the race Touareg. Jumps and bumps for the two-time winner of the Baja 500 in 1000s. A good day was for Volkswagen with Miller's second spot, but also for all the other drivers who all finished in the top 10. Third place was for Nani Roma, the winner on two wheels 2 years ago. That was in 2004. Losing 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the day. His wife, a bike rider, who was forced to withdraw from the race yesterday after losing her teammate and partner who broke his ankle. So a good day for Nani Roma, the best of the Mitsubishi drivers. Splendid landscapes today, with a bit of fog this morning on Tantan, but the sky's cleared for this Desert Fox anyway. And another Desert Fox is this man here, Jean-Louis Schlisser, driving his very own Schlisser Ford buggy. Another fine performance for him. He finished fourth, losing 4 minutes and 11 seconds. But watch out, because this man could be very impressive tomorrow for the first Mauritanian stage. Fifth position for Luc Alphand, the former skier. He lost 4 minutes and 27 seconds, overtaking a biker here. Luc Alphand currently third overall, the best of the Mitsubishi drivers. He's 2 minutes and 7 seconds adrift in the overall standings. Lost a bit of time due to a navigation mistake, but was back on the right track. Janil de Villiers of South Africa, another Volkswagen Race Touareg driver. He was sixth, 4 minutes and 27 seconds adrift, just ahead of Jutta Kleinschmidt, the German 2001 Dakar winner. And another Volkswagen, Bruno Sabi, who suffered serious back pains after a big jump, but eventually made it to the finish line. 6 minutes, 49 seconds adrift. Carlos Sainz, winner of yesterday's stage. Well, he suffered a puncture today and lost almost 9 minutes. A very tough day indeed for Robbie Gordon, who took off way behind the others after losing 4 minutes yesterday. Technical worries on the big Hummer, but he was back in action today and did well. 19th.
Camera's trail over there.
And this is what happened inside the big Hummer today. A bad day for Benoit Rousselot. He's the leader of the production class, the cars that you and I drive. He lost precious time, stuck in the sands and blocking all the other competitors. Rousselot, who finished 43rd, losing 3 hours and 46 minutes, while Stéphane Horard went by. Not an easy task to get the big Nissan out of this sand trap. And a very dusty day indeed for all the competitors, including Thailand's Paul Tirichet and his co-driver Jean Brucy. So a first victory for Stéphane Péterancel on the rally this year, his 49th, beating Miller and von Zitzewitz. Alphand is third, the overall standings. Sainz still the overall leader with a 1 minute and 28 seconds advantage on Kleinschmidt. Alphand is third. Well, today explains Peter Hansel, we've been driving all day in the dust and we had to overtake many competitors. At certain moments, I was behind Nani, in the middle of some riders. It was hell. I'm very happy to leave Morocco and to reach the big open spaces. We'll have more opportunity to overtake, more navigation. So we leave Morocco not in a very good position, but it's not a catastrophe.
Today was a day that we actually planned to take it easy. So it's funny, Dirk and I both were very surprised at the finish here because it really was a plan to maybe be 7th or 8th tomorrow. And you never know, I guess you can't plan these things.
Well, quite a good stage, explains Alphand for us. I think for those starting behind today, it must have been very difficult because with so much dust, overtaking the bikes was very difficult. Even for the riders, it's not an easy day. So I say thumbs up to them because when we pass them, it's like hell for them. Well, the truck race was another victory for Vladimir Chagin. 5 stages so far in the Dakar, 5 victories for the Russian Kamaz driver. And impressive stuff indeed. He crossed the finish line with a 13 minutes and 45 second advantage on his teammate Vidas Kabirov. He was the favourite before the event started. Well, that's exactly what he is today. Chagin, who can enjoy a 1 hour and 31 minute advantage in the overall standings on multiple Dakar winner Karel Lopresh. Lopresh, who finished 3rd today, losing 23 minutes. 7-time winner of the Dakar in a truck. Chagin hopes to do just as well. Vidas Kabirov, the title holder. He's currently 3rd overall, 1 hour and 32 minutes adrift. And we could well have 2 Kamaz trucks on the finish podium in the La Crosse of Dakar. Tomorrow the Dakar enters Mauritania, and one will certainly need to be well rested before this first climax of the event. An early start for all. First bikers will take off at 1:40 p.m. 336 kilometer liaison, then a 444 kilometer special, fast tracks at first, and then sands, a major concern for all the privateers, but also for the big guns. That's it from the Dakar. Thumbs up to Deprez and Peter Hansel, the 2 title holders, winners of the day special.